The resource of the Liberty variator during normal operation is on average 200,000 kilometers. If the machine was operated in an area with hot summers or cold winters, then the actual resource is 1/3 less. The very first sign of a faulty variator is that the CVT box light flashes on the panel when the ignition is on. This can be either a faulty sensor, cost from 1,000 rubles and 5 minutes of operation, or a dying variator belt, contract variator, from 15,000 rubles. Cloudy oil is not an indicator of a malfunction, it may also be the cause of an upcoming breakdown. Other signs of an imminent or very imminent breakdown appear when driving. In winter, in cold weather, after starting to move the car does not pick up speed, despite high speeds, but after warming up it works normally. In the summer, in the heat, traction is sharply lost. After cooling, it can drive normally for a while. When accelerating, slipping, jolting, and increased noise may occur. Engine malfunctions and their symptoms can be considered classic. The presence of soot and oily mass in the exhaust pipe indicates wear of the piston system. Cover the oil filler neck with the removed cap. If the cover bounces, releasing excess gases, this also indicates wear on the piston group. White deposits, slurry, on the oil filler cap indicate a broken head gasket and coolant entering the engine. May cause the crankshaft to seize. There should also be no traces of suspension on the oil dipstick. Gurgling noise in the radiator, clearly visible when the cover is removed, also indicates a faulty cylinder head gasket and gases escaping into the cooling system. May lead to ruptures of radiator tanks and tubes. Jingling sound. If you hear a clinking sound when the engine is running, you need to pay attention to the timing chain. This indicates that the chain is already stretched and the hydraulic tensioner is not fully tensioning the chain. As a rule, this unpleasant moment occurs after 200,000 mileage. In this case, there is nothing terrible, but there is a reason to reduce the price of the car when purchasing. If the chain is already rattling, then it is not recommended to operate the car at all. Many malfunctions are not so critical, but they affect engine operating parameters, gasoline consumption, and can gradually lead to serious troubles. The electrical equipment on the State Route 20 engine is quite simple, but requires attention. The presence of traces of oil in the spark plug wells indicates bad seals. Oil getting on the spark plug skirt leads to its overheating and premature failure. You also need to look at the condition of the high voltage wires. Transverse microcracks will also lead to breakdown of the insulation, and the engine will trouble. Particular attention should be paid to the ignition distributor. The runner should not have any signs of fading. The cover must be free of chips and cracks, the graphite contacts in the center and on the sides must not show signs of wear or destruction. The Nissan Liberty is a rather heavy car, so when purchasing, you need to pay attention to the struts and shock absorbers. You need to forcefully push each corner of the car in turn. There should be no more than one rocking sound and no extraneous knocks. Towing in cold weather leads to damage to the steering rack. The steering wheel rotates tightly even when moving, and may bite in some positions. Another malfunction is related to the power steering itself. A whistle is heard when the steering wheel is rotated. The main reason is low-quality dextrin or its low level in the tank. In addition to everything described above, when purchasing a Nissan Liberty, you must carefully inspect the car for damage to the paintwork. Check the functionality of all power windows, cigarette lighters, radio, seat adjustments, etc. In addition to weak points, it is necessary to pay attention to the general external and internal condition of the car. And every defect found will serve as a reason to reduce the price of the car as a whole. In general, the main malfunctions of the most critical components and assemblies are visible without checking on the diagnostic equipment of a service station. A Japanese-made car with a service life of 15 years is still quite reliable if its previous owners were responsible for maintenance and promptly changed technical fluids and consumables.